my point is this guy hasn't contributed anything aside from the league title that he did contribute this season. I'll give him credit for that. He has contributed this season. This guy has to be one of the worst flops. He was worth 140 and he was injured majority of the time.
Like with Dembele, it's always been one, is he gonna be healthy? Two, if he's healthy, how is he gonna perform?
The replacement and the upgrade is Silva, but the only issue with that is Mahrez. The moment that City lets Mahrez go, there's no chance that they let go of Silva. Where's the mute button? So, from Peru. So, Peru says, let's talk about Bombele, Dembuti, Dembulance. Hold on. Did he actually sit there? Was this off the dome or did he actually?
Well, the last one I just kind of thought of on the spot.
But, so that was off the dome. Not bad. Haramane Dombele. That's crazy.
Ricardo, by the way, happy Independence Day. I know it was like on Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 28th. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Because
that's like a major thing.
What? I mean,
you guys don't celebrate your Independence Day?
One of my colleagues he's Peruvian, so yeah, they even made the Peruvian menu.
Peruvians are in this world, bro? These guys are everywhere.
Now we're there. We're lurking in the background. We're coming.
Okay. So Ricardo, let me guess? You've celebrated that your best attacking player has left, or is about to leave?
Well, he isn't our best attacking player. Let's keep.
Who's your best attacking player? Don't tell me it's the geriatric.
Unfortunately, it is.
Hold up, geriatric era Lewandowski is better than the Us.
Yes, of course.
He is. Yeah.
What are you talking about, bro?
You need to understand something. I would agree to your point if Dembele was our only creative outlet, but he isn't. That geriatric, he's our only reliable goal scorer, so that makes him actually more valuable on the team than Dembele does. Now, I would, you could actually have a genuine argument if, Ansu Fati decides to actually someday play football, but he doesn't. So, really, if we were to lose one of those players, we'd suffer more not having Lewandowski because then we would have actually no goal scorer on the team.
Okay.
What about the Shark?
Wait. Let me ask you because see, I said this in the video, but I actually wanted an answer. So, getting them, if you do end up losing Dembele, do you need a replacement? If you don't get a replacement, how worried are you?
Okay, so
100.
Okay, this whether we need a replacement, like a direct replacement for his position, not necessarily, in my opinion. You don't. See, the thing with Dembele, he's what we're more fixated on about Dembele is more so what he could be rather than what he really is. So every season with Barcelona fans and even people who like him as a player, they're always like, maybe this is his year. Maybe this is the year he lives up to the price tag.
Sorry, let me pause because before I forget, I think it was Emin in the DM sent me. This is actually was an amazing tweet, and I'm sure Zimmer will be happy about this. A guy tweeted, "The idea of João Felix is a lot better than the actuality of João Felix."
That's what I've been saying for years, man.
Yeah, no, that is true. So, like, for example, there's no doubt that him leaving has an effect on the team. Like, his profile is extremely rare. An ambidextrous right winger who's really good in 1v1 situations. You don't come across many of those. It's a huge loss for Xavi's system, but it's a very short-term loss. It's not a long-term loss. This is the thing. Like I said before, Dembele is 25, 26 now, or whatever the case may be. He is who he is as a player. He's inconsistent. He's injury prone. He'll give you a 2 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, and there's no in between. So he has never given Barcelona a full healthy season where he's been consistent and he gives you a high output. So as a Barca fan, how could I miss something that was never even given to me in the first place? There's nothing to miss. That's what I'm saying. When people only talk about Dembele when he has a great game or a string of great games. But when he's playing horrendously, which is majority of the time, nobody wants to speak on that because it's like, oh, well, I mean, he's injury prone, this, and that. The biggest problem I find is that because he can give you a 10 out of 10 performance here and then, and the other wingers can't even give you on their best day, which is Ansu, Ferran, and Rafinha, a 7 out of 10 performance on their best day, then the upside of what those players give you does not offset their downside. If Ansu, Rafinha, and Ferran actually have a good season, then the loss of Dembele isn't going to show. But because Dembele, we're always rolling the dice whether or not he's going to give us that 10 out of 10. That's what makes it worse. But I much rather have Ansu give me 20 goals a season, Ferran and Rafinha give me 10 goals and 10 assists a season, than have a player who I'm rolling the dice every single game whether or not I'm going to get a good performance at him. Like with Dembele, it's always been, one, is he going to be healthy? Two, if he's healthy, how is he going to perform? And if he does perform, let's be honest, the biggest thing we've always criticized Dembele is his final end product. He's one of the worst decision makers. That's why this guy has the name Dumbele or Bumble. Like he has no end product. He will do everything right. He's like it's like in school. Like you studied for the test, you did everything right. You're confident. You hand it in, but you forgot to put your name on the paper. Like that's literally who Dembele is.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Have you know what Z-Man says about him? That this guy studies for the blood test.
But it's like I said, we have other creators on the team. Pedri, we have Alejandro Balde, we got Gundogan, and this is what I mean about the money. If you could sell Dembele, look, these bums in Paris, they forgot to activate the release clause, so now they're not getting it for 50 million. They have to pay either 100 million or they negotiate a fee. If Barcelona, in my opinion, the best case scenario is to actually use the money and get a proper right back because we have been missing that position. And in my opinion, the best you can get right now in the right back position for Barcelona is João Cancelo, and he's another creative player. So the creative aspect is fine. So that's why I said, unfortunately, the geriatric is our best attacker because he's invaluable in what he brings. Because Ansu Fati can't live up to his potential. But the main issue really is that he decides to leave right now when the season is like in a week or two from now. And he could have left earlier. I think if he would have decided to leave at the start of the transfer window, I don't think many people would have much problems, although it would still be a little annoying. But if he had left sooner, maybe would have signed Messi. Maybe we would have signed Brozovic. But the one thing I do like about if Dembele leaves is that, and I've been a big critic of him, I think Xavi is going to have to step up his game and find more solutions because he's way too reliant on wing play and he has an overdependence on Dembele when he can't figure out how to break defenses and low blocks. So honestly, if he leaves, like I said, we're not going to miss a player that has never fulfilled his potential. Neymar left in his prime. That's going to hurt like no, like this is not even comparable.
And also, I think that the key thing is that, and this is because I was having talked with Danny T on our podcast earlier today. The replacement and the upgrade is Silva, but the only issue with that is Mahrez. The moment that City lets Mahrez go, there's no chance that they let go of Silva because all City's flank guys are Foden, Freakish, and Silva.
Well,
those are the only flank guys they have.
Alvarez is there too, but Alvarez
is a striker. Is a striker.
No, but he has played as a right winger for a River Plate. Like, he's good off the right side, but he's just gonna have to accommodate. But look, I don't think we necessarily need Silva, even though I think Silva is a quality player for Xavi.
But my thing, but you made the point that it's true. He's screwed over Barca because it's so close to the start of the season. So you need a replacement. You can't go into next season with only those flank players. Fatsi,
but it's like I said, you don't need a replacement in the sense where you have to go buy another right winger. The players we already have can fulfill the gap of Dembele if they actually play well. That's why I said the fact that Dembele's loss looks so much bigger is because the other wingers have not lived up to standard. If Ferran has a great season, if Rafinha has a much better season, if Ansu Fati actually does something, then Dembele's whatever he brings isn't going to be missed because the other three players are fulfilling the void. And I kind of like it in that sense that Dembele is leaving because there's already expectations and on those three wingers to perform, or else they're on the chopping block. This only adds more expectations on those players to actually do something. But like I said, him leaving, you can use the money now to reinforce the right back position that you needed to address anyways, and now you have more money to do it.
Casey, Your thoughts on this whole Dembele thing?
Listen, I used to be a huge fan of this guy, and this is because of you. You know, when I used to actually take in your leave that. I used to actually agree with you on a lot of things, but
and you still should. You still should.
no. But bro, listen, I'm happy that he helped Messi win the World Cup. He paid off his debt for the Liverpool.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
he paid off his debt for the Liverpool game. But I think it's time to say goodbye.
Wait a minute. Connect those dots.
I have been saying that for
so Dembele always felt like, and Messi was like, look, I am famous, which means that I've got a lot of guys that can do some very dangerous things to you and your family. You want to pay off that debt because there are guys that say that you stopped me from winning a treble and literally having the definitive greatest season of all time that would have ended in a treble. So if you want that debt being paid and you don't want my people to hurt your family, like my Argentine thugs and so forth, pay back a debt. Also, like, I got you, bro. I got you. Final. Don't worry. I got you. Casey.
Like how is Dembele's greatest legacy in contribution to Barcelona have to do with the French national team?
Look, Ousmane Dembele's Wikipedia page is going to be wild, bro. That Wikipedia page is going to be crazy. So unless he wins UCL with PSG, his Wikipedia page is going to be crazy. Casey, continue.
Yeah. So as for replacement, I actually don't think there are any good wingers in the market right now. I would much rather have Vitor Hoek come early on instead of getting a winger. Just save the money and go for someone next summer.
I was the happiest person alive because finally,
you're a hater.
No, it's not hate. It's what I've been saying consistently about this guy that's been true. This guy missed over 700 days throughout 6 seasons in a season. This guy has been here for 6 seasons and he hasn't contributed enough. This guy has only had 116 injuries and he's missing 700 plus days. That's my thing. And plus, not to mention, this guy, Xavi's over reliant on him, and I do think that Xavi's over reliant on individuals more so than coming up with a system in mind. I do think he has that flaw in him, and this will test him because I'm tired of this. Give it to Dembele. Hopefully he gets past an opponent, then we put in a cross, and hopefully somebody's in the box to receive that cross. That's always been our number one problem. That's how Dembele, has gathered up the amount of assists that he's had under Xavi. It's the fact that Xavi's limited his playing time. But at Barcelona, this guy hasn't contributed enough for people to be losing their mind to the point where they feel like they've lost some. My point is this guy hasn't contributed anything aside from the league title that he did contribute this season. I'll give him credit for that. He has contributed this season. This guy has to be one of the worst flops. He was worth 140 and he was injured majority of the time. Majority of the time he was injured in the second half of the season. And people are out here praising him and acting like we lost the big person. This guy's going to be out for 4 months in a season minimum. And people are out here acting like we're not going to lose him. Bro, all it means is we just have to add another 5 months. That's essentially it. So my thing is Rafinha's solution. I don't rate Rafinha that much, but I do expect our creativity to be enough to create for our forwards. The problem is our forwards can't finish in the sense of Varane and the likes of Ansu Fati, who are more inside than compared to Rafinha. So that's always been a big problem, but this will actually challenge him to come up with a cohesive plan instead of just hoping that Dembele runs to the byline and puts in a cross, or just building up all the way just for your wingers to make a contribution.
So basically, you're celebrating the loss of Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah, because I had enough of this guy. I'm happy PSG did us a favor, man. PSG really did us a favor because I'll be honest, bro,
don't let him drop a 3-piece in the UCL final that leads PSG to
bro. The real question is he going to be fit? are any of PSG's
To be
I'm
Z-
saying
Z-
is
Z-Man,
don't
it-
start crying if he leads PSG to a UCL.
it'd be the most Dembele thing if he actually goes to PSG. He's not injured. He has a world class season. Like that'd be the most Dembele.
It would actually work because he's so random that that's probably what will probably
No,
happen.
but on a real note,
Hmm.
every non-Barcelona fan actually could answer this. Give me one highlight or positive about Dembele's time at Barcelona. Just one positive.
The Spurs, the goal against Spurs. Yeah.
That goal against Real Madrid in
He's
the
got the
friendly
best
in Arlington,
presentation.
Texas.
Didn't he have like a
No, it was the goal against Tottenham.
Yeah, a group
In
stage
2018. Yeah.
His kick-ups for the Barcelona presentation when he signed.
To watch the rest of this vid, think about becoming a Football Hut member. If you're a desktop merchant, just click on the join button below, over here. Or, if you're a mobile phone merchant, just click on the join button below the video over here and join the true elite content crack addicts. Peace!